Hi there, welcome to my channel. If you're here, it means you're interested in 3D modeling and Alias and how to get started. Well, probably you've seen the video where I show you where to download Alias Learning Edition. If not, check out one of the banners that's going to pop up soon. And after you've done everything in that video, come back here where we open Alias for the first time. Well, for me, it's not the first time, obviously, but for you, it is. And let's see what pops up. Today, I will be showing you some very basic things. So today, we look at the interface. So this is what pops up. And you've got this upper bar here with the first few buttons. Here is the file system. So if you click here, you get a new file. Here we open one. Well, opening reasons will come up as soon as you have something, station sets, so on and so forth. So have a look at these, read through them, and in the coming videos, we'll take them, most of these step by step, and we'll open them and see what they do. Now, editing, this is already related to geometry that you will have in here. You first need to get that in, but let's go through these. These are all the delete options that we have from the active geometry. So when it's selected, you can hit this or you can use a shortcut. The default one is here. And then you've got the various things you can do by deleting here. Now the layouts means screens, how we look at this. So we have a single pane. We're looking at the perspective now, but we can switch into the front view. Then we can switch into the bottom view. You see, this is all orthographic. Now, let's go and have in perspective. There we go. And here you will also see the view cube. This is something that helps you move your model. So you can click and turn it whichever way you want. This is how you look at the geometry, how you can turn it. Let's come back to this a little bit later. We've got the display options. So control points, for example, making things visible or invisible, or switching between what is visible and what's invisible, templating, so on and so forth. And we've also options on how things are shown in here. So in anti-aliasing, it's not against alias, but making curves look smooth. Drawing precision, drawing style, this is where we define how the various elements look like. So when you see someone on YouTube or anywhere else and you've seen, oh, they've got some really interesting pictograms for each CV or whatever, this is where we define these. Then layers, that's important. That's actually, before we get to layers, we need to know where we find them. And it's normally here on the Windows in the object lister. This is your list where all the layers pop up. Now it's empty because we haven't got anything, but we'll jump to that in the next videos. Now visualization, it's shading, hardware shade, applying shaders, the lister, editor, library, the environment, everything you can think of when it comes to visualization in Alias. Animation, it's something I'm not so familiar with, but I'll come to it at a later point because I do want to expand some of these things that I normally didn't use so far in my professional life. Now, Windows, this is important because here you get your options, right? So this is where we find the various things in our UI UX here. So the palette is one important thing because this will hold all your tools. So picking tools, transforming tools, markups, curves, generating them and editing them, editing objects, surfaces, so on and so forth. It's a lot to look at. So go ahead, be brave, try this out. And one little thing, if you click on Shift and hold this, we can lock it either here at the top or on the side. So when it turns blue, we lock it in there. That means it doesn't cover up your modeling window. and you can click on these triangles, which open up each tab. You can click back on it, and if you right click it, you will see here the whole tab opened up, so you don't actually need to click on them to have them all open. And you can see now I've just clicked once on there, and when I hold my mouse above these, it shows me all the options that I had. And now I've left mouse clicked in this area and we don't see it. So try this. Now the next important modeling window is the control panel. This is here. It will hold the diagnostic shading by default, which is cool because this is how we look at the model. We get it shaded, and we can look at some diagnostics here and some of the ways how we see these things. So meshes and canvases, we set up their transparency. This will be something that you will be looking at once you're gathering a bit more, let's say, mileage, if you want to put it that way, when you get used to some things, and maybe some things you'd like to have them a bit more transparent or not at all. This is where you control these things. Plus, here you can control the degree of curves and surfaces, if they have spans or not. I recommend working without spans as much as you can, and then curvature columns, so on and so forth. And the last one that I like to show you is called a shelf. So I want to see the default shelf here, which is not habited by any tools, but you can edit them later on. So back to shelves. Let's see what we can bring up here. Shelf extras, what's new here? Whichever you want to do. So we've got that there. We've got this covered. Now the preferences. You can set up here user profiles. Now I'm showing you my guest profile. I'll be switching to my work profile in a bit because that's where I have some of these things defined. And in a later video, let's say once we go through a couple of projects, I will be showing you how to set up your own preferences, because I truly believe at the beginning, it's not about cramming all this stuff in. It's actually learning the foundations, and this is where I want to help you. And then I will show you how you get these things in, because in my personal opinion, your preferences should be adjusted based on what you like using, for surface generation, curve generation, so on and so forth. Now the utilities are cool because you've got your plugin manager, so you can bring in various plugins. I'm not really using any of them, but they're always useful. So when you hit a problem, you might find a plugin, and that's amazing to use. So this is where you'll find it and set it up. And help, well, this is it. This is a place where you get your help. You can get tutorials, onboarding, and resources. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.